happens. All right. Okay. We're going live. Oh, well, there we go. Twitter says we're live. Let's see. Oh, and you're right. I am not appearing, Lily. It's, no one can see me.
I'm going to say I'm like a tech wizard, but I could tell that your video wasn't working.
But it's working fine on my end. Hang
Yeah,
on one second.
it's not
Lily,
the end that counts.
start talking about White Lotus.
Is
Just
it weird? Is it weird that I want to watch us while do the live
yeah,
stream?
I do too. Hold on. I'll try to get myself back in the show here. I can see myself fine here, but something's happening. I will be right back. We're just getting started here. It's a good time for people to file in. Give us your comments.
Oh right, yeah, because I want to see people's
Hang
comments.
on one second.
Um, yeah, I literally finished it seconds ago. Oh, is it just me by myself? No, I don't know who's there.
How about
Yeah,
now
well, I just
can you see
finished.
me?
Yeah, now I can see you.
Okay.
I
Let's see.
was like, is it just me by myself talking to myself? I literally finished the episode
Here we here,
seconds ago.
here we are, and welcome to a spontaneous live edition of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. We are live moments after Lily has finished season 2 of White Lotus and is texting people. What are you doing over there? People can see your face.
I'm putting up the thing so I could see if people have comments or
Oh,
something.
okay. You should be able to see it on your computer screen if you
Oh,
have comments. I'll let you know if there are comments. You don't have to worry. Mom
okay.
hasn't gotten to her computer yet, so we're okay.
So no one's commenting yet.
No
Mom's
one's
not
coming.
here.
All right. So here we are. We started the show. Lily, you just finished White Lotus season 2. Everybody is talking about the anticipation of this finale. How do you feel?
Um, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was great. I
Wait, hold on. That
I,
doesn't sound enthusiastic. Like if we were at a restaurant and I asked you if the dessert pizza was delicious and you gave me that answer,
you
I
wouldn't
would
order it.
not order dessert pizza.
Okay,
I would
fair,
order
fair, fair,
something
fair.
else or have ice cream at home.
Fine.
So what's
I
your
mean, I'm just like processing it. It just happened. I would say that I think it was really good. And I think that it was poetic and I think that it was smart because I mean, I can't imagine watching the show without Jennifer Coolidge, but they really brought it to the max. I also don't think I could do another season of her like diddle daddling around, not like.
So you're just going full spoilers here.
But we're talking. I mean, that's seriously, that's the point of this.
That's the big reveal. That's the big reveal. Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, I think like,
I will
and then
say, even though it wasn't one of my recent um, predictions, it was one of the things I said early on. By the way,
that she was gonna die.
yeah, which is that she was going to die, and that
I never thought she was gonna die.
You never thought she was going to die?
No, but also if people don't watch this, like I'm watching it Monday night in Spain because we get it on like we get it to unless you stayed up till like no, I don't even know if you could get it Sunday night at like 2 o'clock in the morning when it would air. But you could only get it really on Monday here. But like past today, it's your own fault because I was already like literally avoiding. Like if you don't watch it, you're gonna get spoilers because it's everywhere. It was all over social media today, and I avoided. Like in a few days, the spoilers are just going to be. Someone messaged us. I can't tell which account, if it was Friday Night Movie or FNM Sisters. I don't remember right now, but somebody messaged us. Jennifer Coolidge. What?
Lily has so many Instagram accounts.
I have so many. So somebody messaged and was like, "Oh, something like Jennifer Coolidge," and I was like, "No, my eyes." But like I didn't know exactly what it meant. So I'm like, dude, if you don't watch it tonight already in your time zone, please. Like it's gonna get ruined and it's gonna be a joy to watch it anyways, because even though I'm gonna spoil everything, how it all comes apart and together.
let's start with accuracy of predictions. I generally predicted that there was going to be, now this hasn't come out yet because we haven't fully, we did an episode of predictions, but we actually did more predictions on the episode that's coming out on Friday. But I generally predicted that all the bodies in the water would be related to the guys in the yacht, which I think maybe everybody thought. Like
I think everybody at that point
any of
thought.
the fake outs during that episode.
I didn't. Yeah, no one thought that like Cameron is drowning Ethan, and no one ever thought Ethan is drowning Cameron. I was like, oh come on, he's too strong. He can get out of that hold.
Cameron
Jose was like, oh no, Ethan's got a good hold on him. I'm like, please, have you seen Cameron?
Cameron is your pineapple sweet this year. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and Daphne, they're my pineapple sweet. The two of them.
So,
okay, question. Quick. Okay, so
I said early on that Jennifer Coolidge's story seems either over or they have to elevate her even more if they bring her back.
Right. I love that. I think that more or less the predictions were on par. I thought Harper and Ethan were gonna, but I was wrong. I thought Harper and Ethan were gonna like be ruined. I knew Daphne and Cameron were gonna be fine.
I might have said that, but when I think about it in the context of the previous season, follow me here. The people that are closer to our age, Alexandra Daddario and Shane, I don't remember the names of the characters.
Lacey, the actor.
Yeah, they're kind of closer to our age, and they submit to the bad choices of their life and just go on with them. Like they decide to take, they take the deal and they move on. Like they agree to suffer. Or
they agree to like shit and don't see yourself as a victim.
Yeah. And move on. And the youngest, which is the little kid, the most innocent, grows the most and has the most hopeful ending. And in a lot of ways, I think both Albie and Portia, who are the
best ending,
the most hopeful ending. Lucia and Mia go off and they sort of win, but I don't really feel hopeful for them because I'm not sure they learned much. Like in the end, Lucia she scammed him completely. She didn't want that money.
Of course not. And the pimp is the doorman at the other hotel. Is a buddy of hers,
which we knew from
we knew from the beginning. And Becky did predict that he would ask her to go to LA. That's not what she wanted. She wanted the money. And
I knew she wanted the money.
I knew she.
But I will say, having been someone who was so hard on Albie, the fact that he seemed to have learned a lesson from it and understand that his dad was a little bit right, but he also did the right thing and was helping his dad, or maybe he was trading with that. Whatever he was doing, he was. There's a lot of
anything. I would say no one does anything for the right reasons on this show.
No, but Albie gets smarter by the end. Portia gets smarter. They learn from these very dysfunctional older people and are slightly better than them. And I liked Albie and Portia the least all season, and I really was happy for them at the end of the season, not for the romance part, but for the you've gotten smarter. You've seen a little bit of the world now.
And I'm glad that. Yeah, and I think your generational thing is a really interesting point, that the like older generation sort of, I mean, what happens to Tanya is completely different, but they're sort of making amends and making some very difficult, like even Steve Zahn and Connie Britton, right at the end of that season, like they're making some, like looking into themselves like quite extensively and their marriage, and it's like this, seismic shift for them. And same thing with the dad, the guy from The Sopranos. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was Michael. I don't know the names of any of the characters.
Right. And No is so far gone, but like he's so set in his ways, he comes out the best out of everybody. He's just like
wise things in the corner, but he's not. Yeah, he's not.
He's made his mistakes. He's done his damage. Like it's over for him in a way in terms of like major growth. And then the young kids have a chance. But I like that even if Tanya had to fight it, I like that she figured it out and defended herself to the end. And then it was some stupid thing that
Well, she's just kind of helpless. I mean, it was such a sad ending, but at the same time, it was so consistent. Like they didn't. I mean, Mike White. I mean, what does this season tell you? Mike White's brilliant because he manages you to whip you around a million times throughout the season, and then in some ways leads you to the place that makes most sense for those characters. Right? There was no magic revelation. It's the same way Alexandra Daddario's character doesn't leave Shane in the end. She
Right. She accepts her choice.
because that's probably what that person would do. And
Or many people would do.
right. I'm not
A little
saying
bit like Daphne.
yeah.
I choose this, and I'm okay with that. Um, and I avoided this. The cut had some like headline about Daphne, like we need to talk about Daphne or something.
Well, it seems
Hey on Daphne.
a lot of the articles are
Okay,
very,
I guess you've read everything.
no, just it seems a lot of people are really giving her, the actor whose name escapes me right now. If you can look it up, that would be great. A ton of credit for doing an amazing job, and she was amazing on this.
I told you she was great.
She was you called it from the beginning. She was a pretty big.
I'm calling it. It's the cut says I'm calling it. It's official. The hero of the season is Daphne.
Which
Megan.
I think she did amazing.
Megan
She did amazing acting. I'm not sure I considered
call her character the hero.
I mean what she is very sure of herself and owns her decisions, which is something I do like about that character. A lot of people would complain and say that they don't like that would not take responsibility, and she seems to, for lack of a better description, take responsibility, take action consistent with the decisions she's made.
I have a question. Does she have sex with Ethan on that island?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure? For sure?
For sure. Like without a doubt. I think it's unambiguous. That's her way of telling him everything's going to be okay. Like or that this is your way of getting through it.
Is she helping him even the playing field to make him kind of get over all of his shit from like that he's all his baggage about like Cameron being the better man for 20 years?
No, just that Cameron made out with his wife and now you can do something to make things to make it better for you. I think that's really what he's saying.
What do you mean you can do things to make it better for you? By having sex with someone who's not your wife?
Yeah, that's kind of Daphne's whole thing. My husband does some things, I do other things.
Right, but I thought that Daphne was like, you can have a little bit of revenge. Wait, did Harper and Cameron have sex?
No, they made out.
I don't know. He doesn't believe her, and he was right the first time she was lying.
I mean, it's interesting
about the latch.
Harper. I mean, I did enjoy how much Harper and Ethan are the losers of this season because they come in so high and mighty and they come out just super compromised and because they're not even happy about living their life the way Cameron and Daphne are.
Right.
Cameron and Daphne are happy and love each other and talk to their kids. And, the brilliance of the show, they show you this scene where Cameron's like working on his teeth or whatever.
Gums.
I think he's all upset to talk to his kids. No, he's probably just thinking of something else because he's working on his gums. And then he goes to his kids and everything's okay. And so I think that Harper and Ethan end up just terribly compromised by the end. They're so high and mighty.
Except that I think they show hope that at the end they come together because they finally have intimacy. No?
Oh, right. I forgot about that part. I guess they finally have intimacy. But like
they do it in the end.
I'm not really sure what we were being. Someone has to explain to me what we were being told by that part.
Yeah. I said to Hossa, I was like, wait, so he had sex with Daphne and now he's like, I'm cured? I don't get it. And he was like, I don't know.
I mean, look, different strokes for different folks. Maybe it snapped him out of his funk that he
That's what he's saying. Like it snapped him out of like his maybe sort of like low self-esteem or.
But the part that I think just makes them weak or just makes them the losers is that they ultimately, with all their high and mighty way of being, particularly Harper, their life got better by behaving like Cameron and Daphne.
There's so many layers to it.
Yeah.
And I think that, and like in the end, Greg is going to inherit $500 million.
He is, but now I'd like to see. I feel like Greg has to be in the next season.
No, it's all new character. It's going to be all new cast.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, all season 3 renewed, but all new cast.
Well, I don't know. I think
I don't know. It depends what's in her will because she's liable to leave everything to a cat. Tanya.
Greg is still in the White Lotus verse. That's all I'm saying.
To you. Okay.
And that story is not fully resolved because no one knows what happened. The only two people who know what happened are Portia and Jack.
Right. And Portia doesn't even really know what happened because she doesn't understand. I'm sure she doesn't understand why everyone's dead.
So let's talk MVPs, LVPs before we end here. Okay. So we
haven't talked about Valentina and Mia.
Because in the end, I don't think Valentina and Mia had much to do with the rest of the story, although it was a really satisfying arc. But
it was. I thought it was, but it also is another way of like the means don't justify the ends, but in this case kind of do. That guy was a douche. He accidentally took ecstasy. He gets fired. She gets the job. She kind of like slept with the boss to get the job, but everybody's happening in the end, so who cares?
Right. And the worst guy gets the worst.
And the worst guy, right. And then like Mia's not pretending she's going to be in a relationship with her, but it kind of gives Valentina the confidence to
go out and be her true self, which was really nice. I think you know what it was? The stakes of that relationship wasn't like I wasn't thinking about it, but also because I was pretty much at the like I liked Valentina throughout and I was rooting for her throughout. I generally liked Mia throughout. I stayed in this like general zone with those two. What I really want to get to is I actually want to start with my MIP, my most improved performance player, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be Portia.
Really?
Because
I was like, Portia, do not get in the car with that guy, for God's sakes.
So here's why I think Portia is the most improved player. Portia is
she barely didn't get murdered, Shai.
Right, but she was the one I liked least throughout this entire season. I just could not stand her character. I couldn't understand
her clothing. I can't understand her. There's no justification for her clothing.
I don't know about the clothing. It was the constantly complaining about her job, which is to hang out in this very nice hotel with a kind of an annoying lady, whatever. But in that last episode and a half, when she has the presence of mind to be responsible and check in with Tanya and tell Tanya she's worried, and they put the mystery together a little bit, and she starts asserting herself with Jack as opposed to just going with the cool guy. I was really there for that growth. Mike White does such an amazing job. He takes you one way, moves you another direction, and brings you back around. And with Portia, I ended up thinking that she really had a lot of room to grow, and she really grew by the end. So
I would have liked to see her stand up a little bit more to Jack.
I mean, how is she's gonna stand up to that guy? She's in the middle of nowhere. She's lucky he didn't murder her.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a coincidence she didn't get murdered.
No, but if she had attacked him in that moment, God knows what would happen.
I'm not saying not attacked him, but I don't know, not trusted him so much, I guess. I don't know.
But that was
just like when she calls him together. And like he drops her off at the airport, she doesn't have any of her luggage. He's just like, go wait for your flight. Don't turn back.
Yeah. Because he knows more about what's going to happen. He doesn't want her to go back because if she goes back, something will happen to her.
And the fact that her and Albie, like she doesn't go for Albie from the beginning is very true to life. I think that like, women tend to fall for the Jacks. And well, luckily with only one burn from a Jack, she'll realize that,
Yeah. And she gets Albie's number, but it's not like they have to date. It's just they've
both been somewhere and seen some things that only they can relate to as of this moment. So I feel like she's like, I need to give your number, get your number because
who is your most improved player?
Mm, I want to say Tanya.
I was gonna
She,
say it has to be Tanya. Also,
yeah, Tanya. Because she really, like, she goes back into the room to look at the photo. She's clearly not convinced when he's like, oh, no, that's my friend Steve. And she's like,
she starts improving the story. She starts improving a little bit before that when she starts almost getting out of that fog that she's been in and starts giving
right.
Portia.
And the fact that she does have an affair or whatever, besides the fact that that guy is a hired killer, besides that part, you're proud of her in that moment of like embracing herself and, but it's, well, I do think she's very improved. It's so brilliantly written that as she was nearly murdered, she has to ask if Greg is having any affair. It's just so well written and so well acted.
Yeah.
And the fact that she topples off the boat. Plus, it was like, there's no stairs. There's no other way to get to that boat.
Not like
She
she's not
doesn't
super
think.
capable at everyday life. Also,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
her.
at what point would you have, like, the fact that she steals the bag and gets into the room and closes her eyes and basically shoots everyone is pretty amazing. But I think at the point at which Portia would have called me, I would have just jumped off the yacht and swam to shore.
No,
Been like,
they would have
fuck you
then they would have
guys.
killed her, and she can't. She can barely swim.
What do you mean they would have killed her? She was swimming. I think they would have had to let her go.
I
I
don't.
don't know. I'm just saying if I was on the boat.
But clearly those other guys died too. The one who swam away. Like it's not that easy of a.
No, I don't think. No, they found one person who drowned. Everyone else died on the yacht.
Oh, okay. So that bald guy got away.
Yeah, which is a misleading thing at the beginning when they say, okay, they found a body, and then Rocco goes, "There's more bodies." He doesn't
Right.
say where.
That's true.
And at the end, they say a guest drowned, and then Albie says a bunch of other people were found on a yacht.
So who are your most valuable and least valuable players?
I enjoyed watching Daphne the most. Her clothes, her hair, the way she like gives those looks. I thought she did it. I found her dynamic with them when they're at that last dinner and they go and sit with them. It's so insane to me. Like, regardless, let's just talk about like normal human interactions. When Harper's like, "Are you kidding me?" and they go and sit down like nothing has happened, and Cameron's eye is punched. Like, get the champagne or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I bow down to you, dude. I could never do that.
But
I
that's
literally would have been like, you need to not eat with us. Get the fuck away.
so
So,
Daphne's your MVP, what you're saying.
and well, I guess. Yeah, I guess. And my least value player, maybe that guy from the beach that goes to reception. Was that weird voice? The Salvatore. That's so annoying. No, I'm just kidding.
That's like
Salvatore.
player
And
in
she's
Star
like,
Wars, the Stormtrooper number 4.
when she's like, he's like, but I was just at the beach. And she's like, then go wash some fucking dishes. Get out of here. I love that line. I don't know if I have one. Ethan, maybe? Oh, he's the worst. I really was not like, I didn't enjoy to not like Ethan. Like, Cameron's disgusting, but I enjoyed not liking him. Ethan, I found very annoying.
Yeah, Ethan and Harper in particular, because of how condescending they were, and ultimately how much not better than anyone they were, and just
right. And of course, not the actors. The actors were great.
Okay, they were amazing. If you're saying someone's the least valuable player as a character, that means the actors nailed it. Like the acting on this show in general is just so incredibly high level and enjoyable. As far as my MVP, I don't want to jump on the bandwagon with Daphne because I don't think Daphne's. I
don't think she's a hero. I wouldn't call her the hero like they do in the article.
I don't. And I'm not sure she is I'm not sure.
I don't think she's the most valuable. I enjoyed watching her the most.
I don't know what the value to the. I don't know what the.
I'll say Lucia is probably the most valuable.
I was going to say Lucia. I'm getting at Lucia, or I'm going to also get it. Lucia causes some of the most chaos in that whole plan.
Right, and she's involved in so many of the dynamics and problems that develop with so many of the characters.
And so in terms of value, in terms of like how affects everything. Like Chia and Mia together affect like everybody there.
Right.
Although
Short of Jennifer Coolidge.
no, but you could say Lucia, by being with Albie, eggs on Mia, forces her even further into Jack's hand, which connects to the Jennifer.
Portia.
Oh, sorry, Portia. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Which makes her easily susceptible to abandon Tanya and not pay attention to her.
Exactly. And just get removed from the situation. Although now it makes a lot more sense why Greg was so upset that Portia was on the vacation.
Oh, shit. You're right. And why he insisted Sicily and why he leaves.
Right. And why he leaves. Right. All of those things.
We assume he's having an affair, but I thought that they were at the airport at the end because he was picking up Greg at the airport.
I don't know.
But no. I'm like, isn't Greg coming back? He said to come back. That's wild. It was I like how the murder that's a weird sentence to say, but I like how the mystery behind the murder or murders was less happenstance. There was a little bit more like plot to follow, even though it's a bit of a stretch. Greg and whatever, the uncle Giuseppe or whatever, like that was a bit of a stretch, but I like that it wasn't just some random act of fury, or danger. Oh, right. It was an accident, like of self-defense.
I enjoyed the mystery a lot this time, but I also love how the mystery also doesn't as much have to do. Like ultimately this show is about these characters and these relationships.
It is, yeah.
These choices, these people. And that's I think
it's also about like even people with lots of money, with 500 million, have to be careful who their friends are.
that's
that's a lesson I take away, because she says, oh, it's so nice to have friends with money because they don't want anything from you.
And in the end, these guys
they want to kill her and take all her money, but also, Cameron and Daphne are letting Ethan and Harper know, like, you're now with people like you. And I think from the beginning, Harper and Ethan are like, well, we don't want to be like you, but we want to have all the money.
Oh yeah.
And I think Daphne's like, but she kind of can't.
So okay. All right.
It's like,
all right. That's really powerful. Okay, Lily.
Yeah.
Who just asking you again, who gets your pineapple suite for White Lotus? So we did MVPs, we did LVPs, we did MIPs, but someone has to get your pineapple suite because you wanted Shane to get the pineapple suite last year.
I did.
He deserved it. He made the reservation.
I mean, no one seemed unhappy with the hotel, so I don't know.
Who gets your pineapple suite? It's a special Lily award, the Lily pineapple suite.
I think it has to go to Daphne. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that makes sense because she is the one who
embodies.
Is.
Yeah, and she embodies like a lot of what the pineapple suite I think represents.
Okay, before we get out,
although I have to say, if she didn't get her room, she seems like she'd be fine with it. She seemed very chill actually about that kind of stuff.
Before we head out, thank you everybody for watching, and remember the Signal Awards.
I have to say, this Signal Awards has been such a gift. This nomination, 2 nominations, it has been such a gift because I think that after 5+ years of a podcast, you maybe start to get a little bashful when you self-promote,
right?
Because everybody knows, but the truth is that you kind of can't be lax about it. You got to self-promote, and I think there's so many podcasts out there, and it's kind of given me a really great excuse, but also a really nice way to share it with people I may not have thought to share it with before, and especially where I live, where people don't speak.
The people who only want to listen to you when you say two Signal Award nominee podcast.
Exactly. And especially the special, right? Because we promoted the special a lot at the beginning, of course. And then it kind of is it just sits there, and it's not the purpose of our podcast. So it's not what we sit around and talk about infertility. And now I'm 2 years
about siblings
and pop culture and stuff. But it's been really cool to be like, hey, this episode was nominated, and I've had people who hadn't heard it or re-listened people who I didn't think would listen because of Spanish, English, and I had a friend just text me. She heard it, was listening to it on a plane, and she's Spanish, but in English texted me. It was like, "Wow, the way you guys talk to each other and the storytelling is so meaningful, and I love it." And that's what we're getting nominated for because it's about us hosting together. So
That is
it's
there's not there could not be something cooler to be nominated for me personally in the podcast
yeah,
world
agreed.
than co-host team because I get to do this show with my two
It's true.
sisters. We've been
It's
doing
really
it for
special.
5 years. We have not missed a
Yeah,
week, and we aren't always all there, but we have not missed a week.
almost always all there.
Yeah, and it's really incredible. So if you're watching or listening,
Yes,
go to
please.
the links are on our Instagram. That's the easiest place to go. Go to @FridayNightMovie on Instagram and follow the link in the bio and vote. Vote for us in the 2 categories in which we're nominated and help us help
Beat Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien, which at the very least we'll lose to Conan O'Brien, and
Oh my God, that's like we've already won.
that's the big
Please.
honor already.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening.
Night. I'm going to bed.
Uh,
In Sicily, it is 1:30 in the morning. And where I live, it's 12:30 in the morning.
you go.
So
Thank you
us Europeans are going to bedtime.
for doing this moments after
That was
the show.
amazing. It was super fun. I had to get out of my system, I'll have to say.
All right. Love you.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.